Yeah, don't call him no more, he's crazy. I don't deal with the lunatics, the loonies. Oh, hello. This is my office. My name is Dr. Howard Jonesman, and I got the idea for my experiment about several years ago now. I was inspired by a study done focusing on 3 men who all believed themselves to be Jesus Christ, and their living psychologist. By the end of the experiment, all 3 men still believed that they were Jesus, and their live-in shrink, well, he still believed that he was going to be the one who was going to fix all of their problems. In my study, however, I put 3 men who all believed they were Bono in the exact same house, under the watch of a closeted homosexual. There was Mark Esperino, who had suffered head trauma after a pillow fight. There was Greg Angeroma, who was a distinctive 80s Bono. He listened to U2 while tripping on peyote in the California desert. That'll do that to ya. Then there was Paul Houston. He had the misfortune of having the same actual name as the real Bono. He seemed to think that it was just easier this way, to live as the man he was often mistaken for. And that is Dr. Hugo Studman. I met him in grad school. He would conveniently date women who could not have sex with him, only so they could never discover his deep, dark secret. What an extraordinary 2 years it has been. Their first encounters with each other were a little turbulent at best.
You'll better worship me, I'll tell you that.
Oh, not worship you. You're a creature. You better live your own life and wake up to the facts.
No 2 men are Bono. I'm the good Lord, you Bono.
They even challenged each other's singing abilities, as evidenced by this clip here.
Where the streets have no name. You're doing it wrong. Here, perhaps I can be some assistance for you.
You're both wrong. It's
No, that's all
We had our ups and our downs in the beginning.
I'm not Bono. I'm Paul Houston. But who the fuck cares what Paul Houston has to say about dying babies in Africa? Who cares?
Okay.
Nobody cares! Nobody cares!
It'll be okay! Every time we see a little progress, we see even more regression.
It always seemed odd to me how much the Bonos liked to make it seem like they cared about Africa. Yet none of them actively did anything to help the situation on that continent.
Well, Doc, you want to know what I've done in Africa? I've been to Ethiopia, and let me tell you, Ethiopia...
Wait, have you ever eaten Ethiopian, much less been there? You don't even have a passport.
Ethiopia did not blow my mind, Doc. It didn't just blow my mind, it opened it. Anyway, our last day of the orphanage...
It was a pound.
Our last day at the orphanage, this man came up to me and asked me if I would like to take his baby. You see, Doc...
It was a black lab puppy. You adopted it. You got its shots.
But Doc! War! Famine! AIDS! Africa! Farm! The economy! Reagan! Nelson Mandela! South Africa! Black people!
Stop it! Nobody cares about any of those things!
How could you be so heartless and cruel?
It was a black lab.
It was a black person.
Black lab!
Black person. It was a black starving...
You got its shots! It was a black lab.
I'll thank you not to refer to a black starving African child as a lab who gets shot.
Also, their accents would occasionally slip. Not one of them had a firm grasp over the Irish accent, being that they were two Americans and a Canadian.
Well, let me tell you something. I've had enough of Irish Americans who haven't been back to their country in 30 or 20 years come up to me and talk about the resistance, the revolution back home, and the glory of the revolution, and the glory of dying for the revolution.
Fuck the revolution. They don't talk about the glory of killing for the revolution. What's the glory of taking a man from his bed and gunning him down in front of his wife and his children? Where's the glory in that?
Where's the glory in bombing a Remembrance Day parade of old age pensioners, the medals taken out and polished up for the day? Where's the glory in that? To leave them dying or crippled for life or dead under the rubble of the revolution that the majority of the people in my country don't want. No more!
Despite the lack of apparent progress on the identity issues, they were at least able to live under the same roof and not kill each other once they found out that they were more inherently similar than dissimilar. The synchronicities became often and profound.
Masturbation, concentration, constipation.
So what if we are not able to make any true progress? What is true progress anyway in the psychological world? You go from thinking you're Bono to thinking you're Craig Angeroma? Oh, that's any big progress right there. We go our whole lives wanting to be Bono. Well, I think we all learned something about ourselves.
Sunday.
The Bono consciousness is just too much for one man to bear alone. Well, I must admit, I always did like 80s Bono best.
I'm a star. I'm your savior. I'm a star. I'm a savior. Star. Savior. Star. Savior.
Hey, Bono's stuck in a moment and can't get out of it.
I hope one day he can do a little experiment on me.